Hey guys, it's Christmas Eve, and it's almost midnight, which means if I stay up just a little bit longer, I'll finally be able to catch that Santa Claus and get all the free stuff I want. So to pass the time, I thought I'd play some Mario games. And what's more fun than playing Mario games? Finding glitches and Easter eggs in them! Actually, no, it's probably just more fun to play them. Well, let's start things off with Mario 1. In World 1-1, hit the star out of its block, but don't get it yet. Follow behind it without losing it, and catch it around this part. Then run to the end. If you get there fast enough, when the invincibility music runs out, the regular level music will play, instead of the music that's supposed to play at the end of the level. Also, a little bit of an Easter egg would be that if you kill Bowser with a fire flower, you can see that it actually wasn't the real Bowser, but it was one of his minions in disguise. So yeah, I don't really have much else for Mario 1. Well, actually, I did have one more glitch I wanted to do. I don't know, you probably haven't really heard of it. It's sort of obscure, not many people know it. It's called the Minus World. Reach the end of World 1-2 and break 2 of the blocks at the end, but not the last one. Then you have to jump just right so that you go through the blocks and down the pipe before the other 2 are on screen. It may take a couple tries, but you'll get it eventually. Just make sure that you don't run out of time. Once you do it correctly, you'll be warped to World -1, and it's nothing special. In fact, it never ends. You're sort of just stuck there until you die. Anyways, next. In Super Mario World, you can trigger a really useless little glitch in Yoshi's house. Press L and R a bunch of times and it'll mess up the smoke coming out of the chimney. Pretty useless. But here's a nice little secret that's the exact opposite. If you go to the first ghost house with a cape and fly up on the left side, you can access a secret exit to the level. Just run through all the ghosts and out the door. And there you go. You've unlocked the top secret area. No, really, that's what it's called. Here you can get all the capes, fire flowers, Yoshis, and 1-ups that you need. There's 2 more Easter eggs in the special world. First of all, look at the icon at the top. For those of you who don't know, that's the symbol for the Super Famicom, the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo. Second, wait until the music loops about 8 times, and it'll start playing the original Super Mario Bros. Theme. On to Super Mario 64. I was going to showcase a few glitches from this game, but I only really knew one, and the other ones that I looked up I couldn't really do properly. But still, I have 1 Easter egg and 1 glitch. The Easter egg is that if you leave Mario sitting there for long, he'll fall asleep. Hey, get up! You gotta save the princess! Get up! The glitch is this. Go to the room where the painting to Whomp's fortress is. Then the player should walk slowly to the left side of the room, and then exit to where the Boo is in the hallway. It should be facing backwards at this point. The player should then chase it out of the room. Then go into the basement. When you come back, he'll be there again facing the correct way. The player should then go to the Whomp's fortress room again and move slowly to the left. Partway down, the Boo will laugh. The player should then slowly walk out of the room and back into the courtyard hallway. The Boo should have completely disappeared. But if you go to the door and look in camera center mode, you should be able to see that the Boo is just sitting there in limbo. Well, to be fair, that's probably where he belongs. I have a number of Easter eggs for Super Mario Sunshine, so let's just get right to it. Piantismo is seen throughout the game as a poorly disguised man dressed as a pianta. He races Mario trying to prove that he's the best. But if you actually look underneath his mask, you'll see that his real face is actually that of the Marathon Man from Ocarina of Time. There's a pretty cool glitch in this same level. Go over to one of the plants that makes the sand sink, and use your hover over it. Then, just as it's full, use your ground pound. If you do it right, then the camera will look up into the air and then begin to fall back to land, and you'll be able to see the entire island for a split moment. This next Easter egg, to be honest, I'm not really sure about. I read about it, and if it's true, it's pretty cool. Apparently, there's a part in the book The Shining where Dick notices a ghostly manta shape floating away from the hotel. It was paper thin like a shadow, and then broke into smaller forms before turning into smoke and drifting away. Well, this level of Super Mario Sunshine has a big hotel, and a ghostly paper-thin manta ray attacks you. You then have to break it up into smaller pieces, which will turn into smoke and drift away. Coincidence? I think maybe. There's actually 2 more Easter eggs in the same level. If you look just right at the beach in front of the hotel, you'll notice that it actually looks just like a GameCube controller. And if you go talk to the Pianta scrubbing the floors and the air ducts, he wishes someone would come up and suck all the ghosts with a vacuum cleaner. This is an obvious reference to Luigi's Mansion. One last one would be at the very start of the game, when you first get FLUDD. The device will scan Mario and compile information about him. If you look at the computer readouts carefully in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see brief video clips of boss battles from Super Mario Bros., Super Mario World, and Super Mario 64. And in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see a mirrored list of major Mario games. In Mario Galaxy, you can find a rocket that looks very similar to the one in Pikmin 2. And you can find a planet that looks just like a Pokeball. There's also a rather easy glitch in Galaxy 2, where you can get infinite 1-ups. Go to the supermassive galaxy and go to the planet with the 3 Koopas. Don't get the drill, and instead long jump onto the back of a Koopa. Be careful not to jump too far or too short or you'll get hit. Once you get it, stay on top of them. After you bounce on them about 8 times, you'll start to rack up 1-ups. As long as you can stay on a shell and keep bouncing, you'll keep getting more and more. Well, I could stop here, but I still have a little while before Santa shows up, so how about we look at some Smash Bros. Stuff? If you look at the Metroid trophy in Melee, you can actually see a 16-bit image of a save room from Super Metroid. It's hard to see, especially through this recording, but it's there. If you go to the collection room, you can see several video game consoles in the background. But if you were to change the language settings to Japanese, the background changes, now showing Japanese versions of those consoles, as well as the Virtual Boy. Okay, here's a good one. Use Fox or Falco and go to one of their stages. Press down on the control pad for a single frame, and Fox or Falco will crouch for a moment. Then a funny conversation will start between Slippy, Peppy, and Fox or Falco.
Use the B button and control stick combos for special moves.
Press up, X, or Y to jump. What? You're just now explaining the controls?
If you have Mr. Game & Watch absorb 3 of Ness's PK Flash attacks, and then use Oil Panic while Ness has his shield up, he'll kamikaze off the screen immediately. Mr. Game & Watch! No! Here's a really cool glitch that allows you to play as Master Hand. This requires 2 players. One of the players must play as Player 3. Player 3 must select New Name Entry in the Nickname menu, while Player 1 selects the back button. Both players must select their options at the exact same time. If done correctly, the players should be taken to the level select screen. In any stage that the players choose, Player 3 will be Master Hand. Player 3 won't be able to move around, but they will be able to use their moves. So cool! And it serves no purpose because first player can't even win. Oh, and it can freeze your game. Fun! Alright, let's end this off with some Brawl stuff. Here's some random Easter eggs. If you look in the background of the Pikmin stage, you can see a Smash Bros symbol on the side of a can. And in the Port Town stage, if you look in the background at certain parts, you'll see a giant statue of Rob with glowing red eyes. That's friggin' awesome and also kind of terrifying. Something I find neat is that if you play as Sonic in the Big Blue stage and have a bunny hood, you can actually outrun the cars. Also something cool is that if you look inside the Winter House on the Pokemon stage, you'll see a picture of what I think is Miyamoto's cat, and the cat from the photo channel. Another weird little glitch to try out is to play as Kirby and go to PictoChat, walk over to the edge and stand in just the right spot and do down B. If done correctly, this will happen. Not very useful, but kinda cool. Alright, here's a really useful trick. It's called the CD factory. It can technically be done anywhere, but it's best to make a custom stage with a lot of conveyor belts. Set all items off, except for sandbags. Then start the level, and start beating the hell out of them. After a little while, they'll want to spit out items, but because all of the items are turned off, all they can give you is stickers and CDs. I got 4 CDs just from recording this. One last glitch is to play as Jigglypuff and go to the bridge of Eldon. Then wait for the bridge to blow up and get a Smash Ball. Then wait till it's about to reform, jump in the gap, and activate your final smash. Jigglypuff will grow as usual, but now he'll get hit by the bridge and he'll stay big. Just make sure not to press left or right away because you'll roll right off the screen and die. Giant Pokemon battle! And here's one last Easter egg. Use Snake in his stage and press the taunt button for a split second. This is almost exactly like Fox and Falco's glitch in Melee. Except here, Snake will have a completely different conversation depending on the character that he's fighting.
That's Mr. Game & Watch. He comes from a world where everything is flat. Game &
He
Watch
even talks to Slippy if Falco's there.
This is Snake.
Copy, Snake. This is Slippy.
What? Who is this? What are you? Some kind of frog?
Die in a hole, Slippy.
Hop in the wireless.
Hacked right into my channel, huh?
Well, that's about it. Now, let's see what time it is. Damn it! I got so caught up playing these terribly terrific video games that I lost track of time. Hey, what's this? Whatever.